Peep Game. The movie starts with a young Matt Murdock getting jumped by the most generic bullies I could possibly imagine. He gets home and carries his dad to bed because he just got his shit rocked. Matt's dad is a boxer, and by the looks of it, a very terrible one. He even got the school bullies calling your dad trash.
My dad's gonna be champ. Your dad's a bum. Yeah, come on.
So one day after school, he tries to head to his dad's workplace. If you're a dog shit boxer, you kind of have to have a side gig. But he gets there, asks about his dad, and they're like, nah, little nigga, he hasn't worked there in months. And that really baffles him until he turns the corner and sees his dad shaking down niggas for pocket change. Apparently, he's been working for this notorious criminal named Jimmy Fallon the entire time. He runs full speed through this construction site, directly into traffic, causing a tragic incident that gave Matt Murdock his powers. Total blindness. He wakes up in the hospital to realize he has 1/5 of the power of Helen Keller. And I genuinely hate how they treat this shit like Peter getting bit by the spider. This is not a superpower, gang. You have a lifelong disability. His dad comes in later and apologizes for, I don't know, not teaching him OSHA regulations. He gives up his life of crime to become a good and honest boxer. And then there's a double training montage where Matt Murdock is trying to learn how to use his abilities, and his dad is trying to learn how to fucking fight, not just collect CTE the entire match. And I find it extremely hilarious when they're trying to show us him learning his echolocation powers. He's just doing regular shit that people who aren't blind can do, except this double air backflip. I don't know how echolocation gives you that power. Bullies from the beginning of the movie show up again, and he beats the living fuck out of them this time. These niggas get absolutely exposed with this early 2000s slow-mo backflip kick. While his dad is getting ready for his next fight, Fallon walks into his dressing room, tells him he's been rigging these shits like Jake Paul's fights this entire time. He also tells him to throw the match or he'll be boxing some bullets next. But in a comeback victory, he hits his opponent with 2 good liver shots into a right hook. Jack Murdock hit the power button and put boy in a REM sleep. But sadly, there was no cap in Fallon's rap, and he gets the big dogs to send the devil to heaven, leaving Matt to find him smacked up in some alleyway. We cut to, I don't know, 20 years in the future, and he is now a lawyer fighting for truth and the American justice system. Now, this guy on stand is accused of DIDNing this woman. He gives his testimony, but DareDevil, with his echolocation ability, can tell that he's lying. But since the case doesn't have enough evidence, it dropped and he's found innocent. So Matt Murdock openly threatens this nigga.
For your sake, I hope justice is found here today, before justice finds you.
Puts on this goofy ass suit.
What the fuck was that?
Gang hops through the ceiling, throws a billy club at this man's mouth, to which every nigga in the bar pulls out a strap and starts firing upon DareDevil. Are they trying to say the suit is bulletproof or something? What's going on here? How's this working exactly? Are you telling me every single goon in this bar has stormtrooper level aim? Preposterous. Somehow he's beating the living shit out of everybody in this bar at the same time. I wish in his backstory they would have told us where he learned how to do this. His dad was a pretty good boxer, but what the fuck is this? At least Batman got his tech from a Tibetan monk. What is his excuse? He chases Corsado down to a subway station, uses the cover of this pillar to choke bro up from behind. But right before DareDevil could choke bro to death, I guess, his senses are overwhelmed by a passing train, giving Corsado enough time to press the strap to his cranium. But Matt hears the hammer click and pulls a clean maneuver, making Guy fall into the train tracks, with a train on the way, looking him dead in the eyes while he gets murdered. And no, he actually murdered that nigga. He's dead. Even leaves a fiery DareDevil symbol. Isn't bro supposed to have a no-kill rule? Isn't that like his core fundamental character traits? Now the next day, he's sitting in a coffee shop with Happy when some fine shit walks in. So he walks over and tries to use his blindness to guilt trip her into piping, his real superpower.
I was just looking for some honey. Could you help me out?
Right in front of you.
Well, could you be a little bit more specific?
What are you...
Blind?
I am so sorry.
That's okay.
The shawty is resistant to level 5 Riz. The game just deflected off of her.
I didn't get your name.
I didn't give it.
So my boy Matt goes to chase her down to get her name like a creep. And when she tries to just walk away, he grabs her, which is a little yikes. But they immediately start scrapping. And how this is shot is really reminding me of that Catwoman scene where Halle Berry is just in the park with that fucking basketball. But either way, the more they fight, the wetter she's becoming. You can very clearly see it on her face, which is horrifying because this persistent random nigga just chased you down and then challenged you to a scrap. We then get introduced to Black Kingpin. DareDevil was race swapping before it was cool. He's in this office threatening some guy's daughter while puffing a cigar, you know, regular Kingpin things.
They will cut the tongues out of their bodyguards their first day on the job. You think that's hard, don't you? Because you don't like the physical stuff. I do.
All All you need to know right now is this guy has a daughter, and the cops are growing aware of the fact that there is a kingpin. Now we can actually talk about the good part of the movie. Goddamn Bullseye, bro. This nigga is splitting darts in a bar without looking, by the way. The look of despair on this old head's face clearly says he put a bet on something. But when he goes to collect, he starts hitting bro with racist verbal combos.
The Irish piece of crap.
Bro starts fucking smiling. Do you see the genuine joy on Bullseye's face right now? Gang has been waiting for this moment all day. Took off the beanie to show old head he was already cooked, and takes a Staples brand paper clip out of his left pocket. He straightens it out and quickly throws that hoe into his trachea. Follows it up with 7 more taps. And man, I love Bullseye in this movie. Like, this is the only thing about the movie I like. Look at his facial expression. He knows these niggas are actually impressed. They show him trying to get through this airport later, and he's just vibing and shit, honestly. Look at how he's hitting this Christ air on this escalator. While he's on a plane to New York, an old lady next to him is yapping religiously. You can see the fear, panic, anxiety all over his face, and the sweet relief after she chokes to death on some nut. Now, later in the movie, Fish and that guy I told you remember from earlier are attending a dinner party with Matt Murdock and Elektra present. This is important because right after telling this guy goodbye, he puts a rose inside of his left jacket pocket, just like what happened to Matt's dad. So basically, it's a green light. So he goes to get that daughter he mentioned and flee the scene, who, surprise, surprise, is Elektra. And Fisk wants these niggas dead. And I gotta say, Bullseye has shown to be the best man for the job. So he's chasing after their car, hitting these Christ airs on the motorcycle, absolutely farming before pulling out these shuriken, killing the drivers, which crashes the car. So Daredevil drops in to try to save fine shit. He weaves the shuriken that was thrown at him instantly, and maybe I just don't understand how echolocation works or something, but how the fuck does he have like instant reaction time? How does being visually disabled give you ultra instinct? So Bullseye makes the only rational decision after seeing some shit like that and tries to ram him with the bike. But Daredevil, the slip god, apparently can just run up bikes like that, going what, 60 miles an hour, goddamn. But got his billy club stolen in the process. And with one flick of the wrist, he murders her dad from the 20-yard line. They played this shit like a Sniper Elite kill cam. For some reason, Elektra picks up the gun and starts shooting at Daredevil like she didn't just see this shit happen. Now after Elektra has this minute-long training montage, he pops up on Daredevil to exact justice for her father while he's in the middle of hunting down Bullseye. You know, moving these sheets out of the way like he's not fucking blind. And from here, they have possibly the worst cringy early 2000s fight scene I've ever seen in my life, which ends with him getting stabbed clean through the shoulder. Somehow they're acting like he's going to die from a shoulder injury. Bullseye comes back to run a fade. You can smell it in the air. He's looking for smoke wherever he can get it. Elektra tries to throw the sigh at Bullseye. Sends that shit right back into the hand that she threw it with. And in the fight scene that's weirdly better than the one she had with Daredevil, he beats the goofy out of this bitch. But ultimately, he was just playing with Shorty. What does her in is a little magic trick. Oh shit, damn. He grips her up and impales her with her own sigh right in front of Matt Murdock's eyes.
Is this nigga serious?
Daredevil gets away by getting to a nearby church because the police are after him for murder, by the way. But Bullseye runs in on this shit with some shuriken. And how on earth could he dodge a shuriken earlier but not this goddamn bolt? Daredevil throws his billy club directly at Bullseye.
He copied my whole fucking flow!
And he's just hitting emotes. Why? What the fuck is going on here? And he gets smacked in the mouth, but I don't get why he didn't just catch it like he did with Elektra's. There's 2 people in fiction you don't throw shit at. It's Spider-Man and there's Bullseye. How is this even happening right now? Now, this is supposed to be the final climactic battle between Bullseye and Daredevil, but this shit is also kinda buns. The worst green screen you've ever seen, combined with like super floaty wire fighting. Wait. Towards the end of the fight where he throws all of his belt shuriken at Daredevil, Daredevil catches all of them with his billy club and then throws it right back at his forehead target. So the one-up gang, he smashes the church glass above him, catches all of the pieces in a stack, and forces Matt to hit this triple backflip for survival. Bullseye eventually gets the one-up by using a bell to confuse Daredevil's sense of hearing. But when he goes in for the kill, at the last second, the only reason he loses is because an enemy sniper shoots a hole directly through Brody's hands. Like, excuse me? The writers knew the only logical way Bullseye would lose this fight is if he got third-partied or something. As soon as his hands are useless, he begs for mercy. But you see, in 2003, Daredevil wasn't a superhero apparently, so he just throws bro out of a 2-story building into a car, killing him instantly. Google says otherwise, but do you really see this shit? These boys are so terrified they pulled their straps on an obviously dead man as they look above them to see Daredevil hit this absolutely inhuman jump. I didn't know Matt Murdock was fucking Kryptonian. Like, Connor Kent be barely having him hops like that. Now the next fade that Daredevil decides to run is is Wilson Fisk, and he really just shows up at bro's office looking for a scrap, which unfortunately he gets, as Fisk just eats these bitches to prove a point. DareDevil's best punches are just tickling this man, hits him with a real hefty gut shot before lifting this grown man up by his neck and tossing him across the room like a sack of potatoes. Has bro absolutely discombobulated. Like, how in the world is Fisk throwing him into the ceiling? What kind of DBZ power scaling is this? I feel like he shouldn't be able to literally throw people across the room like frisbees, but hey, what do I know? I'm not a terrible director. Now, while Daredevil's down, Fisk takes the opportunity to take off the mask, finds out it's Matt Murdock. Daredevil throws his billy club at a water pipe, causing it to sprinkle everywhere, and now he can see perfectly. And somehow that's supposed to be like an instant win button for someone with genuine superhuman strength. The only thing that actually makes sense about this entire movie is how Wilson Fisk actually gets taken out with a swift kick to the knees, absolutely obliterating his kneecaps. That shit physically hurt me through the screen. He decides not to murder Kingpin like he's apparently been doing to a lot of other criminals, even though that he knows his full face and identity, saying that he won't have a cushy life in jail if he know he got beat by a blind person. Fuck all that. What about telling the police that want him tried for murder? And the ending is really fucking stupid and tries to set up for a sequel, which I think they did make. If there's any media where Daredevil has defended himself in court, please let me know. Seems like something that should already be a thing. Also, I never knew Hell's Kitchen was like 4 blocks in New York. That really makes Daredevil seem even more lame to me now. But as usual, you should like, subscribe, and
I'm a schemer boy, I'm a dreamer boy, I love a girl, I don't even fucking need a boy.